When I think about my money and how much I've spent,
Round
how
2,
quickly I spent
fight!
it, and where it all went. Sometimes I regret it, sometimes I don't care. If my life knew the value of my collection, I'd need to be in your prayers. Some men like to gamble, some men like to race, some men like to party, to drink and fall on their face. But I've been collecting knives since the time before my space. Some are fixed blades and I have many that fold. Some go down in value, but some appreciate like gold. There's a feeling inside, a hole in my soul. If there isn't a new knife on its way to my home, order a full custom, get on a wait list. Could be a year or 3, but it's worth buying to me because of the skill of the art.
Thursday, November 19th. Where are you going to be? You need to be in front of your computer because this is going to be a very big event. This is going to be the pre-order for the amazing Raiden Round 2.
Raiden wins. Excellent.
I was fortunate enough to be one of, if not the first person to come out here and introduce the world to the Null Knives Raiden before it came out the first time. That knife has gotten so popular, and the follow-up, the Voodoo, that Null Knives has built up a hell of a name and reputation within the knife community. Now, the long-awaited sequel to the original Raiden is coming up for pre-order.
Round 2, fight!
I always liked the Raiden with its really sharp-looking harpoon, with its very sleek, electrifying design. But I'll be honest, I did fall more in love with the Voodoo.
Impressive.
And that's why I'm very, very glad that I have a Voodoo. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the Raiden was really awesome. This one takes it up, not just a notch, it takes it up a whole other league, man. This goes
Well
up
done.
way, way, way up. Now, I think there are going to be different milling choices, different patterns that are available, and I don't know which one this one is. He's named them, but I haven't seen images that explain what each different name represents. So I apologize for that. If I have that information available to me between now when I'm recording this and later when I'm editing the video, I will drop in some slides so that you can see them and identify them more easily. Now you're going to have 3 different options. One that he's calling Arrow, one that he's calling Type S, and those are 2 brand spanking new looks. This is one of them. He is switching out to Magna Cut, which is kind of a big deal. And apparently the Magna Cut is going to be running at a good hardness, 63 to 64 HRC on the Rockwell scale. It's doing something interesting here. See if I can zoom in on it. I did highlight this in my photography, but what he has done is he has shouldered his pivot. So by doing that, it gives you the impression of a pivot collar without actually having an additional pivot collar component machined and made for these pivots. He's redesigned the pivot heads, so they're going to be a little bit more standout than they were before. I love the fact that the texture continues here inside of the lock bar. Feels really good. It's very, very simple to engage. I really enjoy the blade milling here. It's very easy to do the reverse flick on that. And I'll be honest with you, the thumb studs are fantastic, but I do understand that people don't always want thumb studs. They like having a slot in their blade more sometimes. So here, you've got the best of both worlds. You have really nice, upgraded, sculpted thumb studs, and you've got the nice groove inside of the blade, so you have a flicking slot, which, yes, you can also do with your thumb every bit as easily, or you can use the thumb studs with your thumb. Whatever you want to do, you have all of those options available to you. But in an effort to give you a continuation of the theme and then update it completely, Null Knives has made some significant changes to make everyone happy. Now, you do have an open lanyard slot back there. That's also really nice how that's kind of tucked away, hidden away. And then you have the very slightly raised gear pattern backspacer on here. It is super smooth on bearings. It is fast, wonderful detent. And not only is the detent fantastic,
Flawless victory.
but also the lock bar pressure. So that helps the detent be tuned perfectly, but also provides just the right amount of friction on the blade for opening and closing, where it's controlled, but still very smooth and very fast. If they had too loose of tension on here, then the blade would just drop freely and be like a guillotine. And if it was too tight, then it would slow down the action, you would feel the friction, and the blade wouldn't close under its own weight at all. So they've found that perfect balance, and I really enjoy that. The ergos are pretty darn fantastic. Now, there is a little bit of a corner here. It's not sharp. They rounded it off nicely. So for those of you that prefer very gently sweeping scallops, you may not enjoy that. I don't mind it. I think it's great. And it goes with the very modern vibe that this whole knife already has, which I really, really like. Everything feels good. You've got the right amount of curvature in the right places so that it just fits perfectly into the hand, no matter how you're holding it. This is just a really well-made, well-designed, and well-balanced knife. It's very lightweight, it's very comfortable, it's very easy to carry.
Raiden wins. Excellent.
Now, let's get into some specs. You're looking at an overall length of 7.73 inches and a blade length of 3.3 inches. So it's going to be on the very compact size, very easy to EDC. Your blade stock thickness is 135 thou, with a handle thickness of just under a half an inch from clip to scale, 490 thousandths. Again, the blade steel is Magna Cut. Your handle, your frame, all of your hardware, everything on here is going to be 6AL 4V titanium. And the weight is 3.4 to 3.5 ounces. Now, for those wondering, as you're looking at the custom pivot, is it free spinning? Do I have to use 2 Torx bits in order to loosen or tighten or adjust my pivot? No. It is going to be a D slot built into the pivot so that you can make your adjustments and the other side will not spin freely. And again, you're going to have 3 different choices. You're going to have a clean version that has no milling whatsoever in it. Then you're going to have the Type S and the Aero. I don't know if this is called the Type S or if this is called the Aero. And there's no way to guess, unfortunately. I just don't know, and I apologize for that. And you're going to have lots of different configurations and finishes, from bead blasted and satin combinations on the blades to black PVD and stonewash. You're going to have cool anodized colors for the frames as well. There's going to be some in purple, dark stonewash, all kinds of neat stuff. So definitely keep your eyes open, because the pre-order, again, is November 19th, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern. They're already in production, and I want to make that very clear, so that you don't think, okay, well, I'm going to pre-order on November 19th. I'm not going to see this thing for 6 months. No. It's going to be about 4 to 5 months, because it does take a long time to do these things. But he's already started the production, so it's not like, okay, all I have is a rendering. Here's what I'm going to be making available. You can purchase this, and then once you've paid, I'll put the order in. That's really how pre-orders will generally work. You know, maybe at most you've gotten to prototype stage and you can show a functioning knife, but no manufacturing is usually begun. But Null Knives, they went ahead and started the production, made that investment, because they already know the foothold that they have in the market. They already know that the people have spoken by purchasing over and over and over, and multiple units. I know guys that have 2 or 3 Raidens, guys that have 2 or 3 different Voodoos, because it is a fantastic brand that hasn't seemed to have let anyone down yet. So they knew it was a safe bet, betting on themselves to go ahead and get that production going. And that reduces your wait time by probably a couple of months. So there you have it, guys. This is the Raiden Round 2. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are as well. Now, I'm going to send this one off to KC so he can do his evaluation on it and give you his thoughts. Please do go check him out. I will try to remember to put a link to his channel in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next video.
Finish him!